What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, here with my review on the latest Pokemon Sun and Moon anime episode. Episode 84, The Shape of Family, Poipole's Feelings. With that title now said though, get relaxed everybody, as I will now jump right into this episode review. So the episode begins off with the most awesome training scene I've seen so far within the Sun and Moon series. Poipole even gets so hyped from this training that it decides to join in, where it's revealed to know the move Fury Attack. And what a great way to start this episode that was. I've been waiting so patiently for the day where Ash uses Poipole in a battle too, which we even see later on, so that was really satisfying as well. But continuing on from where we left off, the day then passes and Ash, who's in the market with his alone family, encounter Mina due to Poipole becoming distracted by her paintings, which she with her partner Ribombee can tell that Poipole loves to draw and expresses to Ash what the drawings actually mean, which was basically love, Ribombee using his powers to find this out, with Mina translating. The next day, Ash brings his friends to meet Mina due to finding her such an interesting person, and all of the classmates then relate to drawings she drew, which was very clever by the way, as they all reflected back to previous episodes' events that had that particular character as the focus. Lily is cute. But don't let that distract you from the fact that Ash called Kukri and Brunette his Alolan family. That's just so heartwarming. And after this, Mina and the others finally understand what this love Poipole draws is, which is the love for its family, and that's very sweet. After Ash reports Poipole's feeling got to Lucamine later on, Poipole then actually has a dream about multiple Poipoles and a Nagadel in a nest. Ooh, finally, Poipole backstory focus. It's been half a year, but we'll express my thoughts on that scene later on. It was for sure the best highlight of this episode for me though. When Poipole wakes up from this dream, it can't help but feel sad, and it even expresses this sadness the next day within its drawings, which when Ash sees Mina, after she drew art with Team Skull and Ash beat Team Skull in a battle using Poipole, which was nice, Mina declares that it could have a heavy burden and a mission that needs to be carried out, that it just forgot, which is the reason why it's sad. But then Ash manages to cheer Poipole up once again, stating that his family will make it happy. And the episode then ends off with Poipole drawing Ultra Necrozma for some strange reason. This of course relating to its backstory though. That's the obvious part. And with that simple story now said though, I guess it's time to finally move on to my overall thoughts regarding this episode. Firstly for the story, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty tiresome for me for the majority of the episode. Although I can completely understand if people found this to be a relaxing episode, along with those little important glimpses we got. However, I just can't deny that this episode just felt dull to me. Don't get me wrong, there were some cool scenes, such as Poipole's backstory, which we'll get into later, and Mina's character was very likable, but it just doesn't save the episode for me in the long run. But let's just focus more on Mina's character then, shall we? Seeming as it was at least one thing I enjoyed about this episode. Yeah, every time we saw her, I quite enjoyed it, and that's because she had such a chill personality, but it's also very nice like characters such as Mallow for example, so it made for a nice mixture of personality. And of course, I just adore her aesthetic of painting and how it feels to her. The way she would happily detect other people's feelings was quite pleasant too, making this even make me like Ribombee too, seeming as it was the one helping Mina out detect their feelings. I just always enjoy seeing other Pokemon abilities that 8 moves be used, and even how much something the character admires means to them, in this case, painting. Regardless of me liking this feature though, it just also helped bring some boring scenes to me, most particularly Team Skull, but at least the focus did build up to my favourite highlight within this episode, which was Poipole's backstory. It was very intriguing to see this, and although it was such a small scene, I'm starting to theorise about this Ultra Guardian arc once again, which is quite hype, so I gotta give props to this episode for that. Basically, my theory regarding this scene is that Nagadel gave Poipole a mission, because it's stated by Mina that it seems like it has a heavy burden mission to carry out, which this mission is basically to stop Necrozma, and maybe seeming as the flashback we saw was in black and white, this could indicate that the world would have no light whatsoever because it was stolen by Necrozma, unless this was a small animation touch that the animators wants to add, but I feel like these black and white colours were there for a reason, that being that Necrozma stole the light and Nagadel gave the mission for Poipole to try and defeat Necrozma because it took the light. However, along the way of Poipole's journey, Poipole somehow loses his memories because it doesn't seem to remember a mission and then ends up with Ash and his friends, enjoying its time with them. And jumping to the present day, it then starts to remember some of its mission due to that flashback we witnessed. Why our Poipole out of all the Poipoles were chosen, I have no idea, but it's just a rough theory at the moment, and time shall soon give us answers, especially seeing as the crossbow appears later this month. We're bound to get lots of story thrown at us. But to continue this theory real quick, it then basically follows what I stated in my How the Ultra Guardians arc will end theory, aka Poipole evolves into Nightingale, and with the help of Ash, it defeats Ultra Necrozma, maybe with a clash of 10 million volt Thunderbolt as well. What do you think of this theory so far, guys? Let me know in the comments down below, along with your own personal theory. I'd love to hear. But yeah, that pretty much is how I feel at this moment in time regarding that Poipole's backstory scene. For sure, it built up mystery, kinda obvious ones too, but it was finally pleasing to see. Kinda crazy how such a small scene and even the ending scene are the things I only really cared about regarding this episode too. No joke by the way, cause now I'm struggling to even think of other scenes that I enjoyed, but I can't think of any whatsoever. Even the team score battle was just although it was nice to see Poipole battle. And, well, I guess the training scene at the start of the episode was also cool, but that's it. That's what I enjoyed about the episode. I'm sorry if I feel this way regarding the story, but hey ho, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Although I have seen people mention that they really adore Poipole's aesthetic with drawing what it feels. So, yeah, good for you. To finish off this review though, let's just jump into the animation and music aspects. Firstly, for the animation, it looked good throughout the whole thing, but my favourite highlights have to be the black and white aesthetic that the Poipole flashback had. It really helped set the mood, and if you allow me to count this, I guess all of Mina's drawings were very tasteful in a sweet way. As for the music aspects, ho 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 ho, I will admit, this episode had pretty tunes. From the tune that played during Poipole drawing its love for Pikachu and its sadness, it was just so peaceful that it made me fall in love with it. It even kind of reminded me of something that I would hear in Xenoblade 2. And yes, I always use the tunes from that game for my videos. And then we also have that intense ass music during Poipole's flashback, which was really powerful for the scene, and of course enjoyable to listen to. And then I guess Team Skull theme was the final great highlight. I don't know, there's just something about that anime theme that is so cool to me. And that concludes the animation and music aspects. So, with everything I've said in this video though, I've decided to give this episode a rating of 5 out of 10, I guess. I mean, it wasn't bad, just average with 1 or 2 scenes that made it stand out from the rest. Poipole's backstory definitely being the most satisfying feature for this episode. However, let me know in the comments down below what you actually think of this episode though. I'd love to hear. But before we conclude this video, it's with sadness that I have to tell you guys that there will be no review next week, and that's because I'll be in London meeting many of my online friends, such as Pokedan, Pokewrath, Silverbeanie, and much more. I'm so excited actually, but at the same time I can't help but feel bad that you won't have a review next week. Although I could try to make one when I come back, but that's if you're really craving to see my opinions on that one particular episode. At London too though, I won't just be meeting those guys because they're my friends, but also because we're attending an event called Summer in the City on the 2 weekends. It's basically an event where you can meet big YouTubers, and there's even some big PokeTubers there who I watch personally too, so I cannot wait to meet them. If you happen to be attending this event though, then don't be shy to come up and say hi to me if you happen to see me. If you forget what I look like, here you go then. But that's what I needed to say. So it's finally time to conclude this video. So if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. And today's subscriber shoutout goes to TrueCat. Thanks for always being there, man. If you want a shoutout with my own personal message for you, just use the hashtag Entity Squad. For now though, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching. This UK heat is killing me.